So, what if I told you there's an ancient blueprint for peak performance that has absolutely nothing to do with new apps, biohacks, or the latest productivity trend? It's this, time-tested framework for building real resilience, focus, and success that actually lasts. So in this explainer, we're going to deconstruct that blueprint piece by piece. I mean, think about it. Any great achievement, right? A thriving business, that breakthrough project, a strong career, none of it just happens by accident. It's just like building a skyscraper. Success requires a meticulously laid foundation, because without it, things eventually just crumble under pressure. This is all about building that foundation for yourself.
So let me ask you straight up, is what you're building, professionally and personally, really built to last? Can it handle the curveballs, the market shifts, all that constant pressure to perform day in and day out? It's a really important question to ask yourself.
Okay, so the answer starts with getting the why down before we even think about the how. We've got to understand the core philosophy here, the actual architectural principles that make the whole thing solid from the ground up.
All right, first things first, let's get on the same page about what we're talking about. When we say yoga practice or yoga abhyas, we're not just talking about stretching. From a strategic point of view, this is a system, a discipline for achieving total mastery over your mind and your body. It's basically about optimizing your own personal operating system.
And here's a really crucial concept. The sequence is everything. Look, you can't just do things in any random order and expect it to work. It's a deliberate process designed for maximum return. I mean, you wouldn't try to put the roof on a house before the walls are up, right? It would just collapse. The right order, it's everything.
Okay, so now that we get the core idea, let's talk about prep. Any top performer will tell you the game is won or lost before you even step onto the field. It's all about setting the stage perfectly. First up, your environment. Think of this like setting up your office for deep, focused work. Where you do your work has a huge impact on the quality of that work. The whole goal here is to get rid of any friction or distraction.
Look, these aren't just nice to haves. They're pretty much non-negotiable. A clean, quiet space on a level surface, well, that's for stability. A well-ventilated room keeps your mind sharp. And timing? Doing this first thing in the morning is a game changer. You tap into that fresh energy before the day gets crazy. But honestly, the most important one, consistency. Same time, same place. That's how you hardwire this into your routine and get those amazing compounding benefits. All right, next up, let's talk about gear. I mean, you wouldn't try to run a marathon in dress shoes, would you? It's the same idea. The right attire is all about giving you total freedom of movement, getting rid of any physical hang-ups so you can be fully engaged.
And the advice here is super simple. Just wear loose, comfortable clothing. That's it. See? No fancy, expensive gear needed. The whole point is function, not fashion. It's about being able to execute without anything holding you back.
And of course, fuel. We've got to talk about fuel, because what you put into your body is exactly what you're going to get out of it. And this isn't just about eating healthy. Think of it as a high-performance fuel strategy designed for peak mental clarity and physical energy.
So the rules here are really straightforward. First, you want to practice on an empty or at least a light stomach. Why? Well, a heavy meal sends all your energy to your stomach for digestion, stealing it from your brain and muscles. That means you got to wait at least 3, maybe 4 hours after a big meal. You want your system clean, ready to go, and not bogged down by anything that makes you feel sluggish.
Okay, foundation is laid, prep is done. Now it's time for the main event, execution. This is where we really dive into the practice itself, focusing on the mindset, the techniques, the stuff that really separates the pros from the amateurs.
This slide just perfectly lays out the 2 different ways you can go about this. On one hand, you've got the ineffective approach. This is all about force, tension, straining, just trying to brute force your way to a result. But the effective way, it's the total opposite. It's gradual, it's relaxed, it's mindful. It's about listening to your body's feedback, respecting its limits, and staying completely focused. It's the difference between fighting your system and actually working with it. So how do you stay in that effective state? The key is your breath. Think of it as your anchor to the present moment. And the rule is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. Always breathe through your nose. It's a little thing, but this technique automatically calms your nervous system down, keeping you centered and focused, especially when things get tough.
And all of this feeds into what we can call mindset of mastery. You have to approach this with a positive, I can grow kind of attitude. You use your own wisdom, your own good judgment, to tweak things as you go. And this is huge. You've got to be free from that internal chatter, the anxiety, the anger, the ego. Your focus needs to be on one single thing: healing and strengthening your entire system.
All right, so we've covered the big ideas, the prep work, and how to execute in the moment. But how do we pull it all together into something you can actually use? Let's boil it all down to a super clear 3-step blueprint that you can literally start using today.
Okay, here it is. Let's just cut through all the noise for a second and focus on these 3 core pillars. If you get these right, you are well on your way to building a powerful, sustainable practice for peak performance. I promise.
Step 1, establish consistency. You have to create a non-negotiable time and place for this. Why? Because consistency is what turns a good intention into a powerful, automatic habit. Step 2, practice with awareness. This means you can't just phone it in. You have to be present. Use your breath to tune in and listen to what your body is telling you. That's your data right there. It's telling you when to push forward and when to back off. And step 3, cultivate patience. Look, this is not a quick fix or some magic hack. This is a long-term strategy. Real mastery, the kind that lasts, is a journey built on small, steady improvements. You've just got to trust the process.
And in the end, it all boils down to this one powerful idea. Basically, what you put in is what you get out. The quality of your effort, your focus, your intention, that is what directly determines the results you're going to see. It's like a law of physics for performance. You can't fake it.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint. The principles for building that rock-solid foundation are all right here. So now